1. All right, here we are at Roleplay Cafe. This is Eloy on my top left. This is Jose on my top right. I am your faithful GM for Adventures in the Eastmark Rangers campaigns, Session 3. Last we left off, our Rangers 9 days ago discovered a shadow upon the village. Matter of fact, I will screen share, and yes, I'm going to try it tonight, gentlemen. Let's hope it doesn't mess us up.
Yeah,
I am going to screen share. So, 9 days ago, our intrepid duo of grazing guards discovered Nadaros was under a new type of magic, a shadow magic. They traced this magic to the Knoll Tower. They captured the evil wizard that was perpetrating these attacks upon Nadaros via magic and upon Poplar Grove with an army of orcs. They took him back to Robleda.
Yeah.
If I could get that straight, boy, it'd be great. I got Nadaros down finally.
Yeah, it's good.
So, and here, again, they lost a few days in travel over. They lost a few days here waiting for the Queen's response to the news, and they were then awarded with the Mavelar crosses. They were made lieutenants in the army, and they were made the founders of the Rangers. They then were given a duty, and they traveled for 4 days down the Willow Creek. Came across an Etten who was also sick with this shadow magic, destroying a bridge and killing people. They then pursued down to the bay here at the top of Sinister Glen, where they discovered there are lizard men that have come out of the Sinister Glen and have been harassing travelers and the Lord Wainwright's land. And more importantly, Martin, in investigating the bodies of these lizard men, also discovered they have this shadow magic. The telltale sign that they are infected with the shadow magic is their eyes are a dark mist. And so they know now that the shadow magic appears to be happening here as well. They pursued looking for a band of a troop of halfling entertainers that were coming for the Lord's wedding. They've learned that the Lord is going to marry his daughter in a political treaty and their arch enemies of the Vizartan. And he is currently at the castle in Asylum. And they did discover the halflings, but they also discovered an army of Vizartan army hiding in these woods here. They rescued the halflings and escaped the army. It is in the middle of the night. They've crossed the road. They are headed back toward the camp when they come across lizard men lurking through the woods toward the Lord's camp. And that is where we begin the session this evening. All right, here we go. So, it's about midnight. You have freed the halflings, but there's no sign of them. You have run through the woods. However, you were quick enough to spot the single lizard man with his back to you. He's about 12 meters from you, and you do see in front of him others lurking in the trees in the dark, slowly toward Lord Wainwright's, in the direction of Lord Wainwright's camp.
Mm-hmm. How far away are we roughly? Like, if we scream our heads off, do they hear us?
Well, they're 12 meters, so they would hear you.
Oh, no.
Lord Wainwright.
Lord Wainwright, yes.
Boy.
See,
possibly.
Get a sense. Yeah.
Possibly. They're, at this point, they're not yet...
We're not that close.
Right.
So, like, us giving alarm from here is probably not the best course of action. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And you can see there are 8. There's 3 in the very front. They're about 40 meters from you. There's a couple behind them, and there's another 2 behind them, and then there's one right in front of you, 12 meters away. He has a trident. He's bigger, it appears, than the others in front of him. He wears a crown upon his head, and he has it looks like a gold trident.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, if we're behind him, I look at Eldrin, and I unsling my bow. I think we're going to have to take care of this guy from behind. Yeah.
Sounds like a plan.
Sounds like a plan, yeah. So I knock an arrow and, stand beside him.
Okay.
And get ready to shoot.
Okay, and you would have, right now, it appears you have surprise. So what would you like to do? You're knocked an arrow. You're about to shoot. How about you,
We'll both shoot him. See if we can bring him down.
Yeah, okay. And these aren't our favorite enemies, right? These don't.
No, lizard men.
They are not goblinoids,
and they're not. I don't even believe they are. Yeah. They're not even chaotic by nature.
Okay.
Right, they're neutral.
Yeah. Oh my God, we're starting the night off properly.
Uh-oh.
With a 20 on the dice roll.
Oh, nice. Double damage. Oh my gosh, let's double it up. Holy cow.
I wasn't so fortunate. I rolled a 15, so I hit armor class 3.
Okay, that is a hit as well. So you need to roll double damage, right, Martine?
Yes, it's only 6 points of damage.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Okay.
No, that's okay. I didn't say. Yeah.
Okay, 6
points. I rolled 4.
Okay. All right. So both of you find purchase in his large back, into his scapula bones, maybe the fins that run from the top of his head down. He stands erect and starts to turn. You can see his tongue, almost like a snake, shooting out. Mm-hmm. You can hear some kind of strange, whispery language. However, it's not real loud in volume, right? These creatures aren't maybe not necessarily, bellow. They don't bellow when they make noise. You see the two closest to him acknowledge that something has been said. They turn, and then they turn back and continue forward as this creature turns to face you and sees you both. You do see his eyes are clear. Okay. You also hear to your left, maybe within 12, 15 meters, you hear a high-pitched musical whippoorwill chirping.
Oh. Some sort of signal.
It's the halflings. It might be the halflings.
So I guess it's time for initiative now,
yes,
right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah,
he's definitely aware of you, and he's facing you. 3 for me.
Oof.
My intent is to shoot again, since we're at range.
Okay. Yeah, and he's going to move into melee.
Yeah, I'll shoot as well.
Okay.
But it's in the quarantine, is it?
No, I don't know. It's my wife's phone.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah.
All
okay,
right.
This time I hit armor class 4.
That is good enough. Make a damage roll, sir.
1.
Okay.
Oh no.
As he's racing toward both of you, right? Now, are you fairly close together? Are you arm lengths away? Are you guys spread out? How do you handle these situations?
I think we would have spread out a little bit, not too much though, but
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Enough
so
that you would make him choose a
discrete targets. Yes.
Right. Okay. So I'm going to roll even again. Eloy, you chose even before we started our campaign. So let's see.
Yes.
Even. So he is fixed on you with these large webbed feet. He's cut the distance halfway, and it is now your turn, sir.
And I think I'm a little bit rattled by that because my arrow hits only armor class 7.
Oh yeah, somehow you managed to miss him there. And we're going into round 2. Roll initiative, gentlemen, because he cannot make up the ground in one move.
All right. 6.
4 for me. 6 for Eldrin's going to go first. Looks like
2 again.
Okay.
So not good for me. Yeah.
Okay. All right, Eldrin. This you watching now as he's racing towards your friend. Well,
I'm gonna
as much as a lizard man can race.
Yeah, and he can probably if he cut the distance in half, he'll probably be on me. So I guess I'm switching weapons now to
nice
sword and
okay
shield.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you're not in melee, so I'm not going to hit you with a -2. If you were in melee, I would hit you with a -2, but you're not yet in melee, so I won't hurt you. I'm not going to hit you with a -2, right? You've got time.
Oh, cool.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you, Jose.
Yeah, I'm rolling now. Oops. 9. I only hit armor class 9. He was moving too fast.
Okay, yeah. Somehow in the dark, he is moving a little too quick. He is now in melee range. We are going to call this a charge because he's moved 2 times, so he's going to get a +2 to hit, but a -4 to his AC. Is that right?
Right.
You know what?
Yeah.
That -4 to his AC, you would have hit him.
Oh.
Right?
Then I did 6 hits.
Oh, well, then never mind. You have killed him. So this, he literally is charging with this. Your friend is nervous.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like he's about to drive this gold trident through your friend and right through his skull, just under the beautiful silver crown, right through his temple. You see his eyes dilate, but again, as he falls, and he's large, so he's slow. It's a slow descent, and you see again his eyes were clear. The other lizardmen appear to be on a mission. They are not paying any attention to what is occurring to their leader. Again, you hear these sing-songy you now hear whippoorwills sing-songy from multiple voices to your left. And good, that's a good kill. So right now, these lizardmen haven't responded to what has happened. He has a silver crown and a gold trident. This guy.
Let's pick him up.
Okay. Sure. Yeah. This is really strange. So I'll answer the cry of the whippoorwill.
Make a yeah. Okay. Good. So you answer. Let's make a well. I think you'd be looking right in the direction in the dark.
Yeah, because I'm thinking it's probably the halflings.
Yeah, it is. But let's make a perception check. Make a wisdom check and below, gentlemen, to see if you no modifiers, just a straight check to see if you can pick them up in the dark, in the woods.
I don't.
You can hear them, so you know what direction it's coming from. Eldrin, did you see him?
Yeah, I rolled a 4.
So. Okay. So, Eldrin, you see one of them's head dropped from a tree branch. His hair hanging. He's hanging upside down, clearly, and he sings out this whippoorwill whistle. So you can now see his head come down from the branch as he's trying to get your attention. One arm comes free, and he waves. Of course, at this point, Martine, you would have seen the motion would have drawn your attention.
Okay. So,
so we approach him, trying to stay quiet, right? Because we know that there's still 8 of these guys.
Yep. And so you hear ruffling as you come closer to the trees. You hear rummaging through the branches as all of a sudden these halflings appear almost out of nowhere. Right? They're very well hidden in this situation, and you count heads. There's an older hobbit and an older female hobbit and a couple of younger hobbits, and then this character that was hanging in the tree drops down onto the ground, and they basically encircle you. Good men, thank you for rescuing us. I am Bailey. This is my father Bartram of the Bartram and Bailey traveling troupe. This is my mother Hildy. This is my wife Rosie. This is my sister Shonda. And unfortunately, my brother Hampton was lost to the Visterin during our captivity.
I'm sorry.
Well, hail and well met. I am sorry for your loss, but I am glad that you managed to evade the Visitani and these fishmen as well.
The fishmen. This is my father can tell you more about that. These And so his father steps forward, stands, pushes his chest out with his pipe. Now, you gentlemen, I spent many years traveling through Vizaran as in a traveling troupe as a young hobbit, and I've learned many languages. And during our captivity, 2 days ago, a woman on a black steed, a demon steed, this thing spewing bloody foam from its serrated teeth. It's a large black steed. She is a witch. She came down from the Blue Hills 2 days ago to speak to the soldiers there. They didn't know I could understand Vizartan. She confirmed that the Etten had been unleashed upon the bridge and then to Robleda, and she confirmed that the lizard men were successfully put upon the road to draw Lord Wainwright from his castle. She then dismissed herself and said she was headed for the Black Forest where more work needed to be done. She had the markings of the Zamordox cult on her forehead and on the back of her left hand. They called her Tahara.
I'm sorry. What did she have carved? My connection's not very.
Zamordox, cult of Zamordox,
Zamordox.
on her forehead and on the back of her left hand. She had a staff, and she
that's-
rode a steed. And the halflings all shudder when he speaks of the steed. I have never seen anything like this. She called him Diablo, and they fed it man flesh.
How many days ago you said this was?
2 days ago.
2 days.
2
days.
Yes.
Headed for the Black
Did she
Forest.
speak at all of these fishmen?
She said the runes had been marked upon their, and they had been given their mission. And the runes had been marked upon the lair of the Etten, and he had been given his mission.
Oh, okay. I missed that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is strange. With that mark, she is surely from Ungolos. On this demonic steed, headed northeast to the Black Forest.
And that would be about 8 days' travel. You guys would quickly be able to assess. That's about 8 days hard ride.
Yeah, well, for a normal horse, we know not how fast this devil horse of hers is. The one thing that bothers me, though, is this lizard we slew did not show the mark of the shadow upon it.
The halflings, Bartram says she just spoke of having marked their wellspring here in the Sinister Glen somewhere, wherever that is, and she had put the rune marks upon the Etten's lair. That's all she had said to them, that the task had been done.
Well then,
Now the lizard men, they captured us 2 days ago when we escaped the road from the lizard men. The lizard men were definitely focused upon killing us.
also the lizard men tried to kill the halflings first, right?
And they escaped into
escaped
and that's where their
into the hands
wagon
of the
wrecked.
Visitani.
And then they unfortunately were then discovered by the army hiding in the woods. Yeah.
Well, we must make haste then to Lord Wainwright's camp and warn him of this raiding force that has come upon them. And then we have...
and we are to work... we were coming from the... originally, we came here days ago from the Knoll Tower, where we were attacked by goblins with the same problem. We lost my cousin there. But we are to be employed for the wedding for Lord Wainwright. We will follow you.
Well, stay out of sight. This would be dangerous not to have it.
That is easy.
You know what we should do? We should send the halflings ahead to warn Lord Wainwright while we continue to harry the lizard men. That's probably the best use of our forces. You seem to be what's the word I'm looking for? You seem to be proficient at hiding in these woods, and so perhaps you can bring word to Lord Wainwright. He is expecting you. Tell him that Martin and Eldran sent you. That the Visitani seek to conquer Asylum, and warn him of the invading forces of. Tell him all that you have told us, and make sure he sends word to Robleda if we should fall.
Okay. Then we will go as fast as we can. And Bartram bows and knocks his pipe out on the tree and stuffs it in his pocket. And they all hurry off. And again, it's amazing how they just seem to vanish into the darkness, into the brush. You really can't even hear them moving now once they're out of your immediate area. Okay. These things were moving slow, right? You can probably catch them in a couple of turns of full sprint if you want to follow up from behind.
I don't know if we want to sprint. We want to stalk. So even if it takes a little bit longer, we'd only sprint if they reach the camp or something.
Okay. Yeah, they're close, but they're not that close yet.
Yes.
Right?
So what we should do is pursue like on the edge of the road so that we can hide in the forest as soon as we catch sight of them, one on each side of the road. And
you want to like pincer move them? Get on each side.
Yeah. We'll move through the road and then just spread out a little bit so we can.
We watch Ronin, not like this.
We watch him, not like this. Draw that again. Yeah.
So it takes you about 15 minutes as you slowly outpace them. And you slowly get by them, right? As you're outpacing them through the trees, off the road. And you're able to outpace the front three as they're now about 200 yards, or that would be 50, 60 meters from the tents of Lord Wainwright. You can actually see some torches burning in his little camp. There is no sound. It sounds as if everybody's probably asleep, but there are some torches that are just flickering. He may be up, or he may have somebody up. No sign of the hobbits or the halflings yet, but that doesn't mean they're not in the camp from here. Again, you're about 60 meters. All you can see is the flickering of the torches and the tops of those tents. And they have not yet come out of the woods across the open ground of the banks of Willow Creek to this, but they're fairly close. They're about two assaults from that, right? So they're about 12 meters from hitting the open terrain.
Okay, so I guess, if we shout now, they should be able to hear us, right? It's about 50 meters, you said, or 60 meters?
From them, but 60 meters to the camp.
60 meters to the camp.
To the tents of the camp, right. But you're only about 15, they're about 12 meters from breaking the woods, which would then put them 45 meters from the camp.
Let's start shooting.
Yep. And we'll start shooting, and then we'll start shouting.
Okay.
But the first shot is silent. Yeah.
Yep. And you will have surprise on this first assault. Remember, there are 3 in the initial front row coming out of the camp. 2 of them, one looks like a short sword, one has a trident, one has a spear in this front row. Eldrin, you are. Let's assume you're on the right side of this formation, and Martine, you're on the left side of this formation.
Sure.
The lizard man with a short sword is closest to you, Martine, and Eldrin, yours. There's a spear on this side of you, right? And there is one out front of them with a trident. So you can roll. This is a surprise, basically. For this first round.
All right. I think I'm going to shoot at the one that's furthest up front. to try and make a ruckus.
The one with the trident. Yeah, let's knock out trident guy.
Okay.
So I'll shoot him as well.
Okay.
So, jeez, I only hit armor class 7 again.
Okay.
Well, that's better than me. I did armor class 11.
Okay, so maybe a little fatigued, maybe a little overwhelmed with options. Multiple targets to choose from, not quite as focused. These arrows just miss. Let me see here, though. Okay, it appears as though 2 of them hear something or notice something, right?
Mm-hmm.
The one that you shot at, one with the trident, stops, looks about into the darkness, looking for you. He doesn't appear to actually see you. He can't pick you up. But as he turns and looks about for whatever it was that went by him, you do see that he is, again, a foamy foam from his mouth. His eyes appear to be glazed over and large. The other one with the spear, Eldrin, closest to you, also looking about. And he doesn't appear to see you, but they are definitely aware something just happened.
All right.
Round
All right.
2.
Line,
they begin to start declaration of action. They begin to start moving again toward the camp.
Yeah.
Because they didn't see you, right?
Okay. So my intent is to shoot another.
Okay, and again,
the same guy.
Unfortunately, it's going to be a surprise again because they haven't been able to see you. Okay, in the dark, in the woods. It'll be harder to hide from them into open field,
right,
which,
so
which they will make at the end of this turn. They'll make it into the open field.
I'm having a good dice night. It's a
good.
19 on the dice. So
nice. Yeah. Okay. All right.
I hit armor class 6.
Okay, so again, Eldrin not quite hitting the mark. However, Eloy, you have hit the mark. Roll your damage, sir, on this. This is the trident guy. Okay.
2 points.
Okay, now an arrow hits. He stands erect, stops, turns, and he makes a different kind of sound. As his tongue flicks, it's a hiss, but there's like this gurgle of deep baritone rumble, almost like a demonic sound. All of them then listen to this particular one, and they all start stopping and looking about. I'm going to make just 2 rolls for each of you to see if they see either one of you. Right? And again, I'm doing this with a modifier because there's 8. There's now 7 of them. Okay, it appears as though they've seen Eldrin and they start to move toward Eldrin. And Martine, none of them appear to have seen you. You see all of these 7 turning in the woods towards you, Eldrin.
All right.
And now we must roll initiative, right? Martine, of course, you will be free to have a surprise attack ultimately.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
5 for me.
That's a 5 for me as well. Yes.
Okay.
Me too.
Okay, so we'll go with Eldrin because you're in the most danger. Martine, of course, you can go anytime you want because you've got surprise.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I'm shooting my arrow, so it's same guy.
Okay, same guy. All right.
Oh, jeez. And unfortunately, the arrow goes wide.
Okay. They don't respond to it,
mm-hmm.
right? They don't appear to have seen it or heard it as it into the darkness.
If all 7 are headed toward Eldrin, I'll start screaming. As I lose when I see the arrow go wild, I start screaming. The camp is under attack.
Okay.
Rise, Lord Wainwright, under attack. To arms.
Okay. It appears as though 3 of these creatures closest to you turn in your direction, sir. Okay, and I'll let you know whether anything occurs in the camp that you could see as soon as that happens. Okay, Eldrin.
All right, since I have the bow in my hand, I'm gonna take advantage of that tactical advantage so I can shoot first.
Okay.
So I'm shooting this time at the one closest, the one with the spear, I'm guessing.
Yep, okay. That's short range now, by the way. So +1.
All right. So that's 16 plus 1, 17. Armor class 1.
Okay. And damage?
4.
Wow, good. Okay. Arrow finds purchase in his shoulder or chest. Doesn't appear to wince in pain. It's almost as if these things are possessed, right? They don't seem. They act with a mission. They don't appear to be like the mountain lion that you fought, like the Thule you fought, like the Etten you fought, right? Not really aware. The Etten appeared to feel and notice some things, which could be because it had 2 heads, right? Who knows, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's see here. They can make up. So the one with the spear he will move to half that distance on this turn, and the one with the trident will be half distance. So they are all now 6 meters from you, sir, on the next. However, the ones, let's see, 3 have turned on, and you now. Let me roll this real quick for your range. Yeah. Okay. So they are 15 meters from you, Martine. Okay. All right. So they're moving. They're just moving forward. It's round 2. They will close into melee range with you, Eldrin, on this round. It'll take a couple of turns for them to get to you, Martine, if you allow them to, right?
Okay.
5 initiative for me.
I have a 3, and I intend to. Well, it doesn't matter.
Wow.
I go
Okay. Martin with the second, and you had 2, huh? Okay. So they
got a 4.
Oh, you got a 4. Okay. So I got a 5. So you go before Martin. All right. So they close on this turn. They're not running though. They just close into melee range. 3 of them. Right. I'm gonna just roll. Here we go. You are. Okay. That will not. All right, so all 3, as they converge on you, they move rather slow and clumsy. You manage to dodge, step, whatever defensive tactics you do to keep these weapons off of you. The other 3 now have cut to 9 meters with you, Martine. The other 4, excuse me, are actually 3. There is a 4th somewhere lingering around here, gentlemen, that you may not have sight on. Okay. All right, so they all missed Eldrin. All right, so Eldrin, it is your decision, sir.
All right, I switch from bow to sword, and I smack spear guy.
Okay.
Or attempt to.
Okay.
All right, so that's I got a total -1 for switching weapons, but +1 for strength.
Right.
So I rolled a 15. I hit armor class 3.
Yep. Okay. Damage.
Oh, nice. 9 hits.
Oh, he's. You can describe how you kill this one with a spear if you want to.
Oh, his head's off. Right. Drop the bow, draw the sword, and open the fan style.
Exactly.
Nice.
In the threat as fast as possible. Right.
Right.
Nice. Very good. Okay, spear guy.
Samurai draw. Right.
Okay, Martine, they are 9 meters from you, closing.
So I moved back to open the range back to about 15 meters.
Nice.
Which I should be able to do. I'm still shouting, and I loose another arrow.
Okay.
At the what's his face? The spear guy is. The trident guy is he coming towards me?
Yeah,
or
the 3 that are coming toward you all have short swords. Yep.
Oh, okay. So the 3 that with the short swords. So I shoot one for 6 points actually.
Oh, describe how it kills this.
Ooh. So I think it just hits him straight. They're not wearing any armor or anything, are they?
The leader was the one you killed earlier was wearing, but these guys are not. They're just scaled. They have scales that kind of right.
So this is just a good shot, and it goes right through the scales in its heart, and the thing just collapses to the ground.
Okay. All right, and you actually separated. You made distance between them again, right? Very good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
So
round
they should
3.
be at 15 meters because
Yep.
I made it specifically that distance.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I have them at 15, and then melee with you, Eldrin. Right.
All right.
Okay. All right. Round 3. 4 initiative for me.
I tied with you.
Okay.
I got a 5.
Ooh, nice. Okay, Martin, you will be able to declare first. Again, staying in melee with Eldrin. They are attempting to run. So what that's going to do is it's going to allow them to double their distance, 12 meters.
Mm-hmm.
However, they'll be at a negative to hit you, right, due to fatigue. But they're sprinting toward you for what that looks like with large web feet things, but they're doubling their move. So they're still going to be 3 meters from you, which puts them in melee at the end of this turn. But you can definitely – so that's what they're doing. They're
so
sprinting.
I'll just shoot one last arrow as they close with me. Ooh, I don't think this is going to do it. No, this is just armor class 9. So again, the visibility isn't as good.
Right. Now they suddenly started to run, which you didn't anticipate.
That's it. Yeah.
Right? They took off into a run.
And it's okay, because I only have 3 arrows left in my quiver, so it doesn't really, I've been keeping track.
Yes, very good. I appreciate that. I always trust my players to want to do that as much as I do.
I have 3 arrows left in the quiver, so.
Holy cow, that's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, Aldrin, you'll go before them. Although we tied, I'll let you go first, sir. You're in melee with 2.
I actually forgot that I'm supposed to add my dexterity, so my total's 5. Also,
yeah. Oh, so you're going. Okay, so you should have gone with Martin anyway. Yep. Okay.
Yeah, but missiles go first, so that's good. All right, so let's hack at another guy with the sword. All right. Oh, nice. 17 on the die, so that's armor class 0.
Okay.
Nice.
And I do 4 hits.
Is this the trident guy, the guy you shot earlier?
No, I had killed the spear guy. Well, sure. Let's hit the trident guy if he's on me.
Yeah, there's
the trident guy's the one I hit with 1 arrow. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. All right. Okay. So you did how much damage, sir?
4.
Okay. Nice. You see as you shave off a chunk of his flesh with the scale. You can tell when the sword cuts through it. This is fairly stout, natural armor, right? Versus the head that you lopped off earlier. That was pretty easy.
Oh, we're making some boots tonight, man.
Right? Okay. All right. So melee. These 2 in melee with you, Eldrin. Oh, and again, with your sword and your fighting techniques, you bat away their weaponry. You're starting to sweat more now. You've been running all night. You've stayed up all day. It's the heat. It's the height of the summer. Probably a little dehydrated and wet. All right, they are within 3 meters of you with a -2, Martin. These that have charged in.
Bring it. My armor class is 3 because. Oh wait, do I? Yeah, I guess I change weapons, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, did I shoot this round? It's the same round. Okay, no, so I still have the bow. I haven't switched yet. Yeah, it's armor class 4 in that case.
Yep.
Eloy, we can't use shields, dude.
It's not that game, man. There's different editions.
But you do have a ring of protection.
Right.
Your ring of protection drops you to 4 anyway, right?
4, yes.
Yeah. So
yeah, this game's rangers are pure Aragorn, bastard sword and short bow.
That's right.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
They maybe your ring gives you faster reflexes as you make these slow reptile men, these lizard men miss. However, out of the corner of your eye, sir, you're the closest to the camp. You're on the left side of this group, closest to the camp. You do hear somebody yell back out of the darkness, "Who's there? What's that?" And it sounds like Lord Wainwright, the yell back. And as you catch that glimpse out of your eye and you hear that, you see one of these lizard men, the one that's unaccounted for, is probably 30 meters from the camp. He's gone all the way through the woods and just kept going. So he just kept going while the other ones attacked you guys. So there's one loose lizard man about 30 meters from that camp, okay? Okay. We are in round 4. Let's roll initiative. Awesome. Everybody's in melee right now, right?
Yes.
4 for me. Nice.
This time, total 4.
Okay.
3 for me.
Okay. All right, and again, they are going to fight in melee. So that's their declaration.
Mine too.
Yeah, me too. I draw my sword.
Okay.
And I had only 3. So
Yep. Okay. So
they go
Aldrin,
first,
you,
yeah.
sir, the trident. You have lopped off a hunk of shoulder or something off one of these things. Maybe some of the fin on the trident. The one wielding the trident.
All right, so let's smack him again if we can.
Okay.
All right, that's a total of 15, so that's armor class 3 for 6 hits.
Oh, okay. Describe how you kill him.
All right, so these guys are big, right?
Yes.
So I'm guessing he stabbed last round, and then as he was stabbing at Eldrin ducked under it and slashed his belly open
Nice.
sideways.
And again, they don't yell out. They don't appear to pay attention to the pain. It drops. It's dead before it really knows it. But its eyes still muddy with this cloudy curse. Okay, so the one against you, while you're cutting you're disemboweling this thing. He comes down and hits your back, maybe hits your backpack, but doesn't seem to cause you any ill effects. The 2 on Martin. Oh, 18. I believe that's a hit on Martin.
Yes.
Okay, so as you hear this Lord Wainwright yell back and you see out of the corner of your eye, you don't notice the short sword as it stabs into your abdomen for 5 points.
Oh.
And the second one, 17 for 5 more.
Yeah,
So
man.
Lord Wainwright somehow
10 hits.
affected your for 5 more, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Uh,
yeah.
They affected.
You distracted me.
Yes, just enough. Holy cow! This other creature moves to 24 meters toward the camp. Okay, so it's moving 6 per. So every turn it'll just move at 6. Okay, it is now your go, sir, Martin.
Okay, so I keep yelling, beware the fishmen attack.
You hear
so say the Rangers of the Mark.
you hear somebody yell back, "Fishmen, grab whatever you can and prepare to defend yourselves." And you hear this yelling in the camp. You actually see torches come alight. So all of a sudden, there's more lights in the camp, like they're lighting torches, and you hear them yell back, "Where are you, Rangers?"
Okay, so I hit armor class 4
Okay.
for a total of 5 points of damage.
Whoo! Armor class 4 for 5 points. That is a kill, sir. Describe it if you would like to.
Wow. Yes,
Nice.
I think the one of the lizard men is raising their sword, right, or it stabs at me, and as he lunges, I cut off his arm,
Okay.
right, and so he starts bleeding out and collapses back,
Nice.
or at least kneels on the ground in pain as he bleeds out.
Nice. Okay. So now you're both left in melee, 1-on-1. There's one marching toward the camp. You do hear chirping and singing out of halfling-type voices.
Yes.
Again, about 40 meters from you in the camp. So they must have gone too far north, and they're coming back down the shore, and they're now entering the tent camp. But you can hear in that direction, it sounds like the halflings have found the Lord Wainwright. Okay?
Nice.
Okay. So, round 5, I rolled 1 initiative. So, I'm going to go last. So,
Yeah. 4.
5.
Excellent.
okay, so Aldrin, Martin. Okay, and again, they're going to stay in melee, and the other one is moving toward the camp. So, he'll be at 12 meters on this one. Wait, no, he'll be at 18 meters on this turn in the camp. Okay, go ahead.
All right, 6. I missed. I don't hit armor class 9, so I
Okay.
missed.
So does my
I parried
guy?
with his spear.
Oh yeah. Does my guy have the same hit points as the other guy? Is the previous guy?
He has less. He has one less.
Oh, okay, but that's bad news for him because as he lunges at me, I interpose the sword and thrust it into his abdomen as well.
Nice.
And so,
So you have finished off your last adversary. Okay, Aldrin, this one strikes out with a 13. I don't know if that will do it. They have 2 HD, 2 plus HD. You have armor class 4. Oh, on the button he hit.
Yeah, that hits.
2 points of damage, sir.
All right. Ouch.
Okay. All right. Now, starting round 5, you, sir, are free from this. You can chase down the other lizardmen, or you can help your friend. Right. So you can declare your action before.
How many lizardmen does Eldrin have?
One left on him.
Just one. He can take it. Yeah. Okay. So
and I think you can move up to 4 times your normal in one turn if you sprint, right? But then it's a -2. Is that right?
Yeah. How far is the other lizard? My intent is to run as close as I can.
He is 18, but again, if you win initiative with him, he'll only be 18 from him. But if you lose initiative, he would be 24 meters from you when you start to run.
So I'll stall my sword, draw my bow, and start running and attempt to shoot him.
Okay. So let's roll initiative. He doesn't know you're coming.
Yeah, but it's fine
this
if
would
you
just
want to
be
roll
to see
for
if he
movement.
moves before, right? 2 for me.
3 for me.
Okay, so you're going to go and move first. So that means you can actually close to within 8 meters of him before you shoot. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good. It'll give me a +1 to hit. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and he takes 3 points of damage.
Okay, that kills him. Unbelievable.
Oh, yes.
Okay,
yes.
So he was the unfortunate one that I rolled 2 1s, and they have a +1, so he had 3 hits. So you just killed him. Okay,
excellent.
That's a brilliant shot in the back of the head or something, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're at round 6 though with Eldrin over here. Initiative with your final combatant. You got it. I rolled a 2.
All right. This time I hit armor class 3.
That's a hit. Yep.
For 8 hits.
Oh, and he had 7. That kills the final combatant. Son of a gun. That was brilliant. Okay, describe how you cut down this final lizard man.
How he goes down? Oh, this is a cool one. He hits Eldrin, brings him down to 1 knee because they're really big.
Oh no, he's breaking up for me.
Yeah, he'll come back here in a minute, I hope.
Yeah.
Oh.
Is it 9:30? Did the server reset?
It says connection law. Yeah, it is actually. So he'll be back in a minute.
Yeah.
That's what he gets for trying to showboat. Trying to take the spotlight. That's what happens. Whoo! Okay.
I have 2 arrows left on my quiver.
That was a shot, though. Holy cow. Yeah, so I roll them all up. Today I rolled up all the hit points of what you might run into, and I just put them in order down the thingy.
Excellent.
Right? And so the one with the highest was the leader, and then I just put them in order. So that's pretty cool. And I placed them in their formation, depending on how you might approach them.
Excellent.
So that's gonna be pretty good. 8. Well, the leader had a little more XP, so that's gonna be pretty good.
Oh, even better. Yeah.
All right.
Is it cold over there?
The front range had snow for the last 3 or 4 days, but over here we've been chilly and windy, but no snow. But Colorado Springs, Denver on the front range, they've had some. So.
Oh, doppelganger, Jose.
Yeah.
Now
nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Because I see 2 of you on the screen.
Me too.
Server reset?
Yeah. Let me just.
Yeah.
What happens if I hit the reset button? What'll happen? He's still here.
We lost you for a second there. It's like, oh my God, Jason's gone.
So I reset, but you're still here. Okay, that's all right.
All right. So you had asked me how the last lizardman dies.
Yes.
What I said is when it struck at Eldrin, it had driven him down to one knee. So from one knee, Eldrin thrust into the guy's groin, severing the big vessels there.
Oh,
nice. Nice. They don't have a whole lot on them, right? They do have their weapons, right? If for some reason you wanted to gather those up. Lord Wainwright is yelling into the darkness. He can't see you. He can maybe see a couple of figures on the horizon line on these fields because you're now out of the actual forest. You're in the field. You're in the fields along the banks of the river. He's yelling in that direction, but he's not certain if it's you or if it's the creatures or what that's out there.
I pick up my bow and run after Martin, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah. Since I'm on the open, I guess, at the edge of the field, I start yelling, Lord Wainwright, it is I, Martin Valinor of the Eastmark Rangers. I think we have taken down the scouts. It seems to be safe for now. I'm coming in the camp.
Yes, good. And you see him light a fire, like a bonfire in the middle of the camp. That you see that start to catch and light as you close in. Again, Eldrin, maybe a few steps behind Martine as you come in. Oh, look, we lost the other...
I kicked myself out. I went to the menu and said kick out.
That's awesome. I was worried if I did that, it might literally kick both of you out.
Kick both of you, yes.
So I didn't do it. Okay. He greets you. He had hastily put on a robe and a gown. He does not have his armor on right now. His daughter and the maids are all huddled around tents where the wounded are at, with their torches, shaking, arms outstretched, thinking they might have to defend these poor wounded knights and soldiers. You see the halflings are gathered there. They're all gathered around the fire, and the Lord says, "Well met. It looks as though you have had a fine day. You've saved these the Bartram and Bailey halflings, and these were lizard men you've slain here."
Indeed. But
Did you laugh at my Bartram and Bailey there, Jose?
What time is it? Is it like early pre-dawn or?
Yeah, this will be about 1, 2 in the morning. Yeah, so you're still.
Oh, okay. So we still have some time. Yeah.
Yeah.
My lord, your prospective son-in-law has betrayed you.
What?
The forest crawls with an army of Visirtani. This proposal was a ruse to invade our kingdom.
They're intent on conquering the
I
land.
cannot believe it. Amal Ahmed Azir has. Wow, who's to say this is his army? And the little halfling Bailey says, "No, Lord, it is true. We were their captives." And he's stunned. He kind of he stumbles back. And he sits at one of the little chairs that they bring, those little fold up.
The campaign stool.
Yes,
yeah.
Campaign stool, and stares into the large bonfire. I have left that man in my castle. If what you say is true, then he may well have my castle.
There's hundreds of his men in the woods. But they're not armed for a siege, so they probably do expect him to at some point take over your castle, my lord, and open the gates.
Well, we must march for Asylum. We must eject him from the castle. We must deal with this.
They stand between us and the castle, Lord. Perhaps the safest course of action is to flee north to Robleda and inform His Grace the Duke.
And abandon my people? They have no leader. I am not there. All of my knights are here. All that's in the castle asylum are my guards, my foot soldiers.
Martin, mayhap we can make our way there and open the castle gates for for Lord Wainwright and his knights, because if they enter Castle Wainwright, then the Duke would actually have to besiege the castle.
Now
Who knows for how long?
the river and the road through is clear. The army's hidden on the west side, western side of the woods. So they're actually not on the road between you, but they're between you, but they're not in your way, right?
Between, but they're close. But my point is, we must make haste then, because the army knows that we freed the halflings. So this will probably set their plans in motion. We must make haste. If they take the road and reach Asylum before we do, then all is lost.
We are a full day's. We are a full. I believe you're two. Let me look at the map. I think you're 2 days march. Let me double check.
Because they would have to march right as soon as possible to gain on the because if the Visitani get to the castle before we do, I don't know what's better, honestly.
We are a full 2 days march, and you notice he has no horses here. They didn't bring any horses with them. So he said we would have to break camp and get started. I fear for my people. If he's got how many in the woods? Hundreds?
At least 200 or 300, Lord.
That may not be all of the army. That may just be this force.
Advanced force, right? They might be bringing ships, down the Dragon Sea. They might be ready to be landing at the southern beaches.
We have been here for 5 days, more than enough time for who knows if there's an army in those woods. And we've been here 5 days fighting these lizard men.
Asylum could already be lost.
I will leave it to your judgment what I should do. I do hate to abandon my people, but it is your call.
We're too far from Robleta to get help. We're too far from Robleta to get help. I think we should move now.
Well, the least we can do is scout ahead. Maybe get a better chance. In any case, the camp should be struck and the knights made ready to repel, their forces. And we have no horses, right? So
no, not here. He doesn't. He didn't bring any horses. For again, they were going to be looking for this lair, and they were going to be in the woods. So he didn't bring any horses.
And how many knights does he have? I mean,
he had 5. 2 of them are laid out with their armor and regalia and their shields dead. 3 are wounded badly.
So he has no knights.
Right. He only has not many. And then the rest of them appear to be just more veteran soldiers that were with him here that are dead and wounded. Bailey pokes up and says, "There is another alternative, gentlemen."
Oh?
What do you suggest?
We capture one of those soldiers and get him to tell us what's happening.
That is a good plan. That way we don't have to make our way down to Asylum, but even I don't know, even if we make it down to Asylum, does he have enough forces to hold a siege while reinforcements will have to come from Robleta? There's nowhere else.
Lord Wainwright looks at you and says, aside from the militia, which might be 30 or 40 men, young men and capable, in my castle I only have 25. We never dreamed we would have to actually hold a defensive position in Asylum.
There is a keep there, right? So
yeah, his castle is a keep. There's a city, but his castle is like the center of it, and it has a moat that it connects to the ocean. And when the tide comes in, the moat fills, and he has a drawbridge, and he can describe all of this to you. Yeah, and it's a large castle where most of his court live and people stay in.
what we could do is send him north with what's left of his knights to Robleda to seek help, and Eldron and I could go scout south to Asylum.
Okay.
And if the keep is not yet taken, then perhaps we can rouse, Lord Wainwright's Castellan or whoever is there, right, to hold the city until reinforcements arrive.
Okay.
The only problem is we might be locked in there in a siege with them, right?
You might be under siege.
So, yeah. We might be locked in with them, so I don't know if that's smart. Although we are rangers, right? We can slip out
right.
cover of night or something.
Right. Penelope cooks you up some fresh fish and says you must eat and rest before you head out.
Yes.
So while you're talking, she served you some wine and some fresh fish cooked on the bonfire.
Mm-hmm.
They begin to break down some of the. They begin to get the knights that can move and are ambulatory up and moving. He agrees. If you suggest you'll go north, he will do as you bid, and he will take all word to the Duke, if that is what you want him to do.
Because I think ultimately somebody has to go to Robleda, because with 5 knights and 40 militiamen, he's not going to be able to hold out. Okay. And even if he's besieged in his castle, he needs rescue from the siege.
Right.
Right. So somebody has to journey north.
We can probably make the trip faster, though.
Us going north?
Mm.
Well, yeah. I mean, we'll move faster than anything in any direction. I think word has to be sent to Robleda. So we either, if we go south, we have to send the halflings north as well as Lord Wainwright, right, to carry word for us. I
am concerned that the road north is a very dangerous one, and the Lord and his men cannot move stealthily.
So we could, because they might be, if they're seized on the road,
perhaps we fortify here, gentlemen. Maybe we should just fortify here. And you can travel down, and we don't go anywhere.
I don't know, my lord. Your people will need leadership.
Yeah. And if you're captured, then you might be taken hostage by the enemy forces, held for ransom. You and your family. Yeah.
Yes.
So we need to get the fiance out of there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we need to get Lord Wainwright and his men to some semblance of safety. Obviously, this is not a good place. We don't know how many more lizard men there are in these fens. So maybe Lord Wainwright and his men should start marching south, and we can follow the wisdom of the halfling and try to capture one of these Visitani. Although the last one we spoke to was not very apt to cooperate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was determined to die before he betrayed his people. So
that's
good, and that was with a knife at his throat. So there's a good chance that they may all be that committed.
And another option is we all head south, help Lord Wainwright retake his castle, and maybe we can get some steeds there, and then we can make the trip north faster.
Okay, we'll get anywhere we're going faster than the army, right? But we got to get a head start because we're a smaller group, so we should be able to travel, except for the wounded.
Yeah.
How are we carrying the wounded?
They're ambulatory. They're just going to be escorted by a lady's maid that's going to have to help them. They're just going to follow behind by half a day, maybe, right? I mean, they can only move so fast, right? And they'll have to stop and rest more, but right. Okay. But at least they could be headed in your direction, whatever direction you choose to go. So if they go north, they can certainly follow you. If you go south,
we cannot leave the castle unattended. I think that would be. I think we should maybe all go south, and then as soon as that's solved,
that is what worries me. I left Umal Ahmed Azir in the castle, so It's not unattended. He is in it.
So he
Exactly.
might have already opened the gates. We don't know.
This is very grave news.
Well, maybe start walking, and then we just
Okay.
go on ahead as
Okay.
fast as we can.
Do you have, my lord, some sort of token that we could show your castellan that says that we speak for you
Yes.
above and beyond your son-in-law?
He licks his lip and he twists off his signet ring and presents it to you. Yes.
Yes.
Very well. We will go ahead and see if we can
take my banner. And he pulls a stake with his flag of the gold and light blue lion crest and hands that to you. This too will signal you are on my behalf. The signet ring will definitely tell my wife Sarah that you come on my behalf. And my the captain of arms and my groom Wallace should be trustworthy men too inside. The captain of arms is oh God, where's my name list here?
Okay, give me a minute. I gotta take care of a thing. I'll be right back.
What's his name? Oh, come on. I've got all my notes here. Must be in my box. Of all the characters that could. Colton Valix is his sergeant at arms. Colton Valix.
Excellent. I'm moving around my box top with the dice.
Yep.
It seems to annoy one of my dogs just like it annoys Ivan. He's looking at me like, what the hell are you doing over there?
The only thing that ever annoyed me in all the gaming was that night Ivan was eating cereal out of the bag.
It sounds like it's chewing on your brain.
Yeah, right. It's like every time I tried to talk, it was like, it's like, would you just quit that? It's like, who eats cereal out of a bag anyway?
Yeah, that's too dry, man.
You're supposed to pour milk with sugar on that cereal. When I grew up, that's how you did it, right?
That's right. Now, like, I've seen people like put like yogurt on it.
Oh,
that is like, I'm like, ugh.
I don't know what we're coming to as a world, as a country, man.
Yeah, what's this word coming to exactly?
All I know is my grandfather, my great grandfather, did not do that.
You know what? You know what my daughter's homework for college is this week?
What's that?
She's got to read The Call of Cthulhu.
Oh, hey.
Yeah.
Hot
Yes.
dog.
Yes. I'm there with you. I'll read it with you.
Yeah, is that a literary class? What is she? Is that an English lit or what?
I think it's English lit. Yeah.
because I don't know what else you'd be reading it for unless it's a writing class or a. Yeah, it's got to be a lit class of some kind, right?
Yeah,
Wow.
she's like, well, they gave me this assignment. I have to read the story called The Call of Cthulhu. And I'm like, yes!
That's amazing.
I
Holy
pulled the
cow.
book out. Yeah, I pulled the book out. And she was like, here you go.
The best class I ever took in college. Well, I took a lot of really great film classes, but one of the best was just watching old films. It's like, are you kidding? You show up, kick your feet up for 2 hours, and watch great old movies. Like, yeah, I can do this all day long. I should have been a film major.
Yeah, I'm there.
All right. Okay,
All right,
you didn't
so
hear
what
that,
were we
Eloy.
at?
His sergeant at arms is Colton Valix. His wife is Sarah. What is that? Be the Duchess? The
Lady.
Duchess is Sarah.
Lady, because the Duke's at Robleta, right?
Right.
This
Yep.
is-
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Lord.
right. Yeah,
Lord
lady. Excuse
Wainwright.
me. Holy cow. Lord and lady. Whoops.
Lady Wainwright.
Yep.
Okay. And who was the Castellan? Wallace, Sergeant of Arms?
Yep. No, Wallace is the head groom.
Okay, head groom.
And Colton is the captain of arms or
Yeah.
sergeant.
Yep. He's the Castellan. Yep. Okay. And he's already admitted he maybe had 25 or 30, guards,
Yeah.
castle, army. Yeah.
Hmm.
And then he trusts the rest of the town to provide a militia of roughly 50 men if he ever felt he needed them, right? Plus these knights that were about 9, which now are about 4.
And what about this? What was he? A prince? Prince Ahmed was.
Yeah, well, he's a noble. He's not the caliph, obviously, right? But he's a
Uh-huh.
noble. So yeah, Prince Olma Ahmed Azir.
Does he have a retinue of armed guards, or
Uh,
did he last time you saw him?
when he arrived at the castle, he had only his valet, basically, the guy who dresses him, takes care, that type of thing. He did not arrive with any kind of escort, but he did arrive on a large ship that was anchored in the bay. Yeah, and he had a small group of men that stayed in the town of Asylum in an inn or something, but they didn't come into the castle. They weren't part of his court, so to speak.
Okay.
Now, if you don't rest, you've eaten, but if you don't rest, you'll start acquiring a -2 for fatigue. So at some point, I don't know if you want to rest before you head out in the dark, or if you want to head out immediately.
I think we should rest a couple of hours because we all
Right.
just came in.
Well, they prepare. Yep.
And I want to take one arnica.
Okay. And
I
that
took a
you'll
lot
just take
of-
your full hill from that because you'll rest here too. So
Oh, okay.
just heal up fully from that.
Alrighty
and then you
then.
won't be at -2 for the next day, right, gents? Because you've had some sleep. Okay. It feels as though you're feeling a little better from the arnica, and you feel like you just drifted off into a deep sleep when the Lord rouses you about an hour after sunup. We must get moving, gentlemen. You've only had maybe 4 hours sleep, right? So they've left the tents up, but they put out the fires. They've buried the bodies. He and his daughter and these girls and a couple of the knights who can stand. They've managed to bury these bodies with rocks. They didn't dig holes; they just buried them with rocks. And they're all lined up. You see them; they're about 100 yards from you, down the road. And they've already started. They're a head start on you as the Lord rouses you awake. I hated to wake you, gentlemen, but we must get going.
Yes.
He is dressed in his full armor and his gear, and he says, "I will." And he has his large two-handed sword. You go as fast and as far as you wish. I will do the best I can to keep them moving and protect them if something happens. And the halflings, they have taken some of the daggers and short swords from the fallen soldiers and knights and from these lizard men, and they've all got some weapons. So everybody at least has some kind of weapon, so they can do some self-defense.
I would ask if any of them have arrows that they can spare.
Yeah. They scrounge up 8 arrows.
Yes.
Right from the baggage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so 8 arrows.
Half full.
Yeah.
That's good enough.
I've only fired 7, so I have 13.
Good. Nice.
So if you need more, just let me know and I'll share.
Yeah. No, we've got 10, so we're
All right.
Do you guys want to? You guys move in double time?
Yeah, we're jogging in Fellowship of the Ring style.
Okay.
Yeah, nice.
About midday, you've had to stop at times and maybe wait a little while to make sure you can see them come over the horizon, so you know they're still following, and then you'll trek off and wait for a while until they kind of come into view. This goes on all day, 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours. You set camp along the road at the end of the first day. This is going to take another full day to get there, even at double time. And it takes them another hour or so for them to pile into your camp with the wounded. They immediately rest and they don't even eat. These knights go right down and begin to sleep. The girls, they'll eat and take refreshment and then to sleep. The Lord shares with you that it is incredibly part of the reason he came out with his knights was these lizard men had stopped traffic to and from on this north-south thoroughfare. And he goes, but it's very strange that we have not seen anyone all day on the road. Hang in there. That's tough for you guys. I know.
So it's not a bad time. So usually this road is heavily trafficked then?
Yes. And that's what first alerted them that something was amiss on the road 5 days ago, right? That they stopped, and the halflings didn't show up for the when they were supposed to, and yeah. So, you managed to sleep through the night, although you hear in the distance toward Asylum, you hear noises in the night. It sounds like people murmuring and things happening. By the time you're up in the morning and packing up and everybody getting on their feet, you start to see people coming north. And as you start now toward Asylum, and you see more and more, and you begin to get close, and the Lord starts to recognize people, and they recognize him, and it's women and children and infirm, and they all stop and they gather with the Lord. Some drop and kiss his hand. And they say, we have been set out of the castle. When you left, they opened the drawbridge, and he brought in an army of filthy creatures, vile creatures we've never seen before, and they've hung your soldiers from the walls, dead soldiers from the walls around the keep. He has taken the keep of Asylum, not the city so much, but the castle.
Yes.
And the Lord listens to this, and he weeps. Some yell at him from a distance and spit at him. How could you leave your people and let this happen as people pass? But mostly are women and children and the infirm. Later in the day, as you get closer, half the day's travel as you pass some of these people, they're camping on the roads. The Lord stops to get more information. You begin to put two and two together that he appears to have an orc army that came into that castle to take the castle. You also start to run into some of his soldiers and some of the men from the city, militia. And by the time you arrive about 200 meters from Asylum, and you can see the castle set out in the bay where the moat is created by the tide. You can see the castle, and you can see now there's a mast in the fields there, basically an impromptu militia. It looks like about 50 men. He has about 15 of his men escape the castle. So there's about 65 men available here, plus the Lord, you two, and they begin to take these injured knights, and they have tents. They built an impromptu kind of camp out here about 200 meters from the city of Asylum, the town of Asylum. And you can now see, as you get closer, if you creep down closer to the city, you can see most of the city has been abandoned. These people have fled the city. They've left this castle in the middle of the city. And you can see, again, hanging from the walls and the parapets, the bodies of the soldiers that they killed, and they flung over the sides. You can see moving along the battlements and the walls these black-clad, armored orcs, right? You do get a little bit of information from some of these guards that escaped that they didn't think there was maybe 50 or so of these this army of orcs. Again, the city, the little castle itself can't house hundreds and hundreds of people or army. So, yeah, it's a fairly small keep as far as
My lord, are there any hidden entrances to your keep that these beasts might not know about?
When the tide retreats, it is there are the sewage. They are the sewage grates. When the tide comes out, definitely you can see the sewage grates, but they are barred, heavily barred. but yes, there are areas around the moat when the tide uh, uh, recedes.
And where in your keep would those sewers lead?
Let's see here. Where's my map? I actually have a map of my castle keep here.
Nice.
Let's see, I got quite a few maps here. Okay, let's see here.
I'm glad you did a lot of practice. This is very amazing.
I don't always do that, but I do with something this intense. Right? We wanted this kind of intensity, didn't we? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see here. There are two main sewer entrances to the city. One is on the southwest wall. The other is on the east wall at the base of a large tower. So I don't know if you can see that, but the towers are on the outside, and there's tall walls, and then inside is the palace and some smaller homes,
buildings. Yeah.
Yep, and the walls are wide. They can they're built for actual weaponry as well as armies on the wall. The towers,
hang on. These are walls of the keep or walls of the city?
Walls of the keep. The city has no walls,
gotcha.
so the city is just
Gotcha.
and then this is right smack in the middle of the city. But the city's been abandoned by the civilians, right?
Yeah.
The city walls are, let's see here, 9 meters high. The towers are 12 meters high, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4 towers. It's an oddly shaped keep. It's shaped kind of. I mean, it's not square. It's an odd shaped thing, right? Okay. There's a drawbridge is also strange because it's so long, and because the drawbridge. So one part of the bridge is built out into the middle of the moat, and the part that comes down from the keep meets it in the middle and comes up. So the bridge actually extends out away from the city into the moat, and the drawbridge comes down and meets in the middle. So the bridge actually goes halfway out over this water, right?
Yeah.
It's not a traditional where it comes down to the side and back up. It meets in the middle and up. Okay.
Gotcha.
Okay. Again, only 9-meter high walls, 12-meter high towers. The walls are thick stone, and there are two major sewer. There's smaller sewage where water runs through and out into but two large enough that a human being could get through these things, right?
My initial thought, my friend, I'm addressing mainly Martin, although I know Lord Wainwright is there. As you know, these creatures hate the sun, so a daylight attack would be best. Now I know not of taking castles, but maybe if we can sneak in and open the drawbridge, then the Lord and his men can charge in.
Well, for certain.
The Lord said, "I have never in my life had to siege a castle like mine, and I have, thank God, never had to defend from a siege. But I do believe we should create some kind of distraction so you can readily get. Maybe we should assault, or what do you think? Broad daylight, even broad daylight, you would be seen, I'm sure. And right now, of course, the tides. Gosh, let me think about this. The tide would be in, right? Mm-hmm.
The tide is high?
Right. Thank you. That's it.
Yeah.
Tide is high. I'm thinking, right, that's the moon, moon shift. Okay, right. I got to think about the tides here.
We're holding on. All right. So our option is wait for low tide. We sneak in and try to open the bridge as the sun comes up.
Okay.
That's one option. The other option is a distraction and us trying to climb over the wall. But climbing over the wall while they're shooting arrows at attackers.
Yeah, not a good idea. Yeah.
It's if they move all their archers to the front and we can sneak through the back.
They'll be at a heightened state of alert, right? Because then they know we're attacking, as opposed to trying to sneak in when they're not expecting.
Yeah, I mean it's quiet. I mean, there's no one in the town. Everybody's abandoned out here, camped in the fields, or they're way up the road headed to the main city. So I mean, it's eerily quiet, right?
So we
it
could
might be
sneak.
enough of a distraction if at sunup the Lord Wainwright forms his knights just beyond bow range.
Okay.
That might distract them enough for us to.
Okay.
We'll be sneaking in the night, right? The tide is low at night.
Okay, so you want to sneak into the sewers on the now would that be on the east side, or would that be on the southwest side?
Whichever leaves us closer to the controls for the drawbridge.
Okay, so the Lord sits down in the mud and sketches out his keep, and he tells you the east sewer is closest to the drawbridge. The southwest side is the farthest from the drawbridge, right? He sketches out, again, gives you an idea of the walls, the entrances to the towers, the entrance to the drawbridge. He obviously can't tell you where they would be stationed, but he can tell you that all those towers can house 15 or so soldiers. So every tower could sleep up to 15 soldiers. His men are guessing there's maybe 50 of these orcs in the actual castle, right? Okay. So you can see, I mean, if you sit here all day and just count the number of heads that pass through the battlements, right? Your best guess, I mean, along these the long wall in front, you're able to count about 8 to 10 on that long wall, right? If you multiply that by the other 4 walls, you got a pretty good idea of how many are probably on the walls that are visible. He tells you in the actual keep itself, there's my palace, which is 3 stories high. You can actually see the tower of his palace above everything, the top of his palace. And there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 other buildings in the castle grounds. Most of them are small homes for the court the people of the court to live in. There is a couple of larger, his barracks for his men and stables for the horses. Yeah. And you have not seen any horses, by the way, on this 2-day journey. The people who have evacuated, no horses. So they either kept the horses or killed the horses,
or ate the horses,
or feasting on the horses. Something, but no horses. Not even the local city folks. Obviously, now if somebody escaped with horses, they may just have not come north. They may have headed along the shore. They may have headed to the village in the bay there, right? What's that village? The village of the Channel, right? So some people may have escaped that direction. They may not have escaped. Oh, I didn't even realize he was gone. I thought he was listening. I said, boy, I have got
focused.
Got Jose. He's focused, man.
Yeah.
He
laser-like focus.
Laser-like focus. Surgeon, right?
If my internet was this focused, I'd be. And you see, that's a Freudian slip. You called me a surgeon. I said internist. No surgeon, internist.
That's right.
If my internet was this focused, I have a much better connection.
Right. Right. Okay, I forgot what I was saying, but no horses. Some people may have escaped south to the Channel Village, right? Not everybody went north. So, okay. All right, so tell me what you gentlemen want to do, unless this is a good place to pause for the night if you're tired.
Well, I'm thinking. I don't know about you. Our thinking is pretty much right. We wait for the low tide, try to sneak in through the sewers, and see if we at first light can open this thing, right?
Okay.
Yeah,
so that might be a hefty scene. I don't know if we can get that done tonight.
Okay.
We can't really fight 50 orcs, so our best bet is to
sneak in,
open that drawbridge, and
This is
try to
really
get out.
exciting.
Or
Okay. Well, we can start. We can
It's
always
feeling-
cliffhanger anytime we want. So it's up to you guys if you want to keep going a little bit. We can always do
So
cliffhangers.
this is
anytime.
this is gonna be very Black Shield of Falworth,
Right.
fighting to open the drawbridge for the good
Right,
guys to come in.
right.
I love it.
Right.
nice. I need to watch that one. And there's one called Black Arrow, right? With Burt
Burt
Lancaster.
Lancaster.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah. There's some really good ones. Some really good ones.
very faint memories of that.
Well, Prisoner of Zenda's one of the best ever
Of course. Yeah.
because it's just him fighting that duel while trying to help while what's his name tries to open the drawbridge. He has to fight the duel. It's amazing. Yeah.
Nice.
Right.
Yeah.
This is very, very cool.
Yeah. All right, so here we go. So we're going to sneak a little bit because, again, we can always stop anytime we're finished, right? So
Yeah. Why don't we do the sewer part?
Okay.
Let's see how that goes, and
Okay.
then if we make it through the sewer, maybe we can leave gate opening for
Okay.
Depends on what we do.
You got it.
Yeah.
Okay, so as night falls, you don't see these torches lit in the castle along the walls. No light at all. Which is strange, right? Being human beings, you're accustomed to there being lights, torches lit, lanterns lit, nothing in the castle lit at all, at least on the walls. As you slide down, this is almost 20 feet, this bank, as you slide down into the mud and the muck. There is, of course, still some large puddles of seawater as you make your way through this moat around the east side of this in deep mud and muck. No signs of life out here as far as soldiers or anything. You come around and you get to this. I hate to say it, but you see the arched way with the bars in it, and it's of course it is semi-buried. So you'll have two real issues here. You're gonna have to dig out some of these bars, and then you're gonna have to probably pull or try to work these bars loose. And you're going to be digging through mud and filth, unfortunately. But a ranger's job is never done.
It's a dirty job, but somebody's
It's a dirty
gonna do
job, but Martin can do it. Aldrin will stand watch while Martin digs in the mud and the filth. Right?
Nah, we'll both dig in there. And
Okay.
if we need to loosen it, maybe we can use one of the spikes and the axe to break some mortar around the bars.
Okay.
As
Now
it was a
we
chisel.
can make tests, or you can take all the time you want with all the tools you want, and it'll just take more time. But it's up to you. Or you can try to hurry this process. However, there will be a ticking clock on when the light comes up, right?
Yeah. So shall we try and speed it up?
Yeah,
Roll some
because
dices?
if the tide comes in, then we're screwed, right? We have to go back and try another day.
Right.
So we don't want to do that.
Right.
So let's try and speed it up.
Okay, so both of you working together, we're gonna do we'll do a bin bars, open gates. One of you roll, but we're gonna get a +1 modifier to that. Open doors, right? So whoever's the strongest will be wisest, and then we'll add a +1 for the help of Martine. I'm assuming Martine is not as strong as Aldrin. I'm not certain.
I think we have the same bonus.
Oh, you
I have
do?
a 15.
Yeah, I have a 13,
And
but
you?
both of them are +1, right?
Right.
So,
So that, and then I'll assume
roll it.
you've
I'll
used
roll
some
it.
sure,
tools.
roll it, yeah.
Right. So basically, you're gonna roll this. Just don't roll a 6. That's
Anything but a six.
simple. Right.
I'll do my best. 3.
Okay,
Yes.
so you managed to pop one of these bars loose, and that's wide enough for you to squeeze in. You could work another one loose if you want to for faster exit, but you can slide through this. You'll just have to strip off your bow.
I have a question in the theoretical sense.
Mhm.
If we're high up on the walls,
Yeah.
and are they close enough to the water? Like if we need to jump out, we can land on the water, or
Oh, if there's a tide, yeah. I mean, so
if
you're
there's a
20
tide, yeah.
So the moat is 20 feet deep. So you
Yeah.
had to like slide down into the mud and cross and move. So if there's a tide in, it's probably deep enough
Yeah,
that you
but
could
tide.
leap, because the walls are 9 meters, which is
Yeah.
24 feet. Is that right?
9 times 3, 27 is
27.
30 feet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
30.
something
Yeah.
like 30 feet.
So
But
it's a 30-foot jump into the water. But
it's risky. I'm just saying we're waiting for the tide anyway because we're going to move
Right.
when at daylight.
Right.
We only did this at night because the tide was low. So as
Right.
soon as the tide comes in is when we go in and we
Right.
proceed, right?
Okay. You'll have to crawl through this sewer to get into the heart of the. And this takes about 15, 20 minutes crawling through this sewer. Some of it is because you get to areas where you have to move refuge and boulders to get through. So it's not clean and you're just on your hands and knees. You've got to sometimes get lower. There's been areas where stone is slipped and some of the there's damage to the sewer and you'll have to work around that. So it takes time, 15 or 20 minutes, until you come to to the upward pipe, basically, or hole. It's basically a hole. You now can stand in this, and you 2 or 3 people can stand in this looking up, and it's about 17 feet, maybe 6 meters to the grate above your head.
All right, and do we see any movement up there?
And just so you know, so if that's 17 meters from where you're at, when the tide comes in, this is full. I mean, this sewage is full of seawater.
Okay.
Right? You know that you're low enough that when the tide's full in, it may even raise up this pipe almost to the castle itself, castle floor. Right? You can put 2 and 2 together that this would all be buried underwater. Okay.
Yeah. So
do we see any movement up there?
No, just dark sky, right? Just the night sky, and the grate. The grate is much narrower, and they're crossed. It's a multiple grating crossed. Right?
So they got grates up there?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And they're about 17, 18 feet from that grate. And again, as the Lord told you, this is in the streets inside the castle. This sewer. It's not going to come up into a building or anything. It's a street.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a cobblestone. Yeah.
So it's 17 feet or meters?
No, 6 meters.
Feet.
18
okay.
feet. Yeah, 6 meters.
Yeah, because between the two of us, we could maybe get 13, 14.
I mean, you can wall walk this. Back against one wall and up with your feet, right? Or you could spider it up, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have ever done that in your lives. I have.
No.
And yes, you can do it.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking, standing on one's shoulders, right? We could get like 10 feet of height at least, 10, 11 feet. And if you raise your hands up, that's a couple of feet more. Yeah. And maybe get the grappling hook and try to snag it onto the thing.
Okay. But the wall walking should let us be braced enough that maybe both of us can push against the grating.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, and it is large enough that 2 people could wall walk up it opposite each other, right? Your feet will be opposite each other, right? If you want to do that. It'll take time to work up this, right, in this slick, gross, the walls of this, of course, not real sanitary.
Dirty job.
Yeah, you get to the top. I don't know if you want to be extended or bent, but you get to the top. You can hear the foul speech of the Ungala's speech as they talk. There's a couple that sound very close to this grate, having a argument or conversation. It echoes into your sewer grate here.
Hang on, I think Jose is frozen again.
Oh no, he's thinking.
No, I'm here.
Oh, okay.
Very poor connection.
Oh, okay, there you go. Because you were frozen. Yeah,
my connection is red. It's been red half the night.
Okay. So we hear a conversation. Yeah.
Yeah, and they sound fairly close, and they sound like they're. You don't know. You don't hang out with orcs. Is this a normal conversation? Is this a fight? Yeah. Are they debating about the? Who knows?
Weather?
Yeah. Is it friendly or is it unfriendly? Doesn't matter, but they're fairly close to this grate.
And is the grate fixed, or is it the kind you can lift?
Yeah, but you will have to punch it free. I mean, you'll have to break it free. But it's more stuck there from years of
Disuse.
yes. It's not.
Somebody has moved it. Yeah.
I think we'll if the voices aren't going anywhere, I think we'll have to try to force it loose quickly and then move against them.
Okay.
Okay.
So you can pop it off, and I'll make a roll to see if it's seen or heard. Again, you hear them still barking and talking to each other in this. They don't appear to have stopped when you pop this grate loose.
Okay.
Excellent. All right. So the plan is climb out and try to take a gander, see how close these things are.
Okay. You'll both be facing if you come up together because your backs are both against a different wall. You'll both be facing a certain way, but ironically, to get out of it, you'll have to roll an opposite way. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right. Unless you literally try to spin around and push yourself up.
No.
Okay.
Let's do this the easiest way.
So again, what did you position yourself? South, north, south, east, west? How did you position your backs?
Interesting.
This is pretty important.
Yeah. We're coming in the east gate, so I think we're aligned north-south axis.
Yeah.
One's looking south, the other one's looking north.
Okay,
That sounds good.
We'll put Martin on the south wall looking north,
Okay.
and we'll put Eldrin on the north wall looking south.
Yeah.
And as you two walk up, still working your way up, as your heads clear the top, Eldrin, you see two orcs 5 meters from you talking, or 5 meters from this hole. Of course, you can hear them right over, talking right over the
Behind
backside
my
of your
head.
head.
Yeah.
And you can see in Eldrin's eyes as he looks, maybe he nods that they're right there. They're not looking, they're not looking at you. I mean, they're standing there talking, but they're not turned with their backs to you. They're sideways, but they don't appear to notice you.
So we'll climb out as stealthily as we can. See what comes.
Okay, let's make a roll. We're going to do a little opposed check, gentlemen. They have a number in which they can see you, and you need to roll basically a check under that.
And what do we roll, a D20?
Yes, sir, please. This is different than banging around the woods, right?
It's just one roll for both of us?
No, each of you, because you're both making this move out, and either one of you can draw their attention.
I rolled an 8.
Okay, so you slide up, you push your butts up, and they're still, this grotesque speech, this black tongue. They do not. As you guys roll over and up on your haunches, they haven't noticed you.
Nice.
All right.
You do hear footsteps on the wall above you. Remember, you're on the east side, so the wall is only about 10 meters from you on the east wall, which is also a tower on the outside of that wall.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So there's a doorway in here, or you can look about. Matter of fact, I will tell you what you see aside from these two, maybe 5 meters from you. You're right at a wall juncture. You're about 7 meters from the wall at a juncture, and there's a large building to the southwest. Then you've got a clear pathway, a couple of smaller buildings. You're about 75 meters from the wheelhouse to drop the drawbridge.
Okay.
You'd have to come along the east wall headed north. You're about 75 meters from the wheelhouse. You do see that there's stairs at the wheelhouse. So as you would go into the wheelhouse, there are stairs directly up, stone steps. At the top is a large platform where you can see orcs mingling around there, and you can see an orc at least one orc through the doorway of the wheelhouse. And then again, you got these two here, and you can hear walking along the wall above you. And again, the wall's 9 meters above your head. The top of the wall, I mean.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
I think
look
you
at
can.
Eldrin.
I mean, if you sprint, I think you can run. What is it? Triple? Double? Anyway, but if you run, you'll make noise, of course. So.
Yeah, but they might see the
And
grate
there's two orcs right 5 meters from you.
right there, right? So I'm just wondering if we need to take these two orcs out
Oh yeah.
quickly and silently.
Right.
They have not heard you from the climb out, so you would have surprise on these two.
Yeah. What I would do is I'm gonna go barehanded, meaning to grab one from behind. Try to hold his mouth shut as I smash it against the wall.
Okay.
In unarmed combat. That's my goal.
This will be a normal attack, but you'll do 1d4 plus your strength to this, I think, right? Or is it? No, it's con and strength. Damn.
Are they armored?
They are in skins of some foul.
Mm-hmm.
And they're black, and they're dyed black or painted black. They do have on their shields, and the ones that have helms, they do have the markings of Zamordox, the cult of Zamordox. Okay,
Gotcha.
right.
Okay.
But no, they do not appear to be wearing chain armor or anything. Not these two.
Yeah, so I'll try a similar tactic to Eldrin's and sneak behind the other one, but I'm gonna draw its head back and slit its throat.
Okay.
Rise up from behind and try and.
Okay, let me find my orcs here. Where are my orcs? There they are. Whew. Okay, so what do we have?
Oh yes, yes.
Okay, what did you get?
I got a 19 on my die, so
I got a 19 too.
Nice. Okay, so damage is strength
awesome.
plus con, if I remember right.
Yeah, my unarmed damage is 5 hits.
Whoo. Okay, so you describe how you grab him, hand and drive him 6 meters across into the stone wall or something.
Right, smash his head against the closest wall.
Okay, I don't know if his skull crushes. That's up to you, but he's out. He's done. You have killed this orc, and you, sir, do how much damage?
I do 4 hits of damage.
Yes, that is a kill as well. Son of a gun.
Excellent.
So I draw its head back and slit its throat.
Yep.
And,
Okay. Quiet. Nobody seems to hear anything as you do this. You look around. You listen. You can still hear boots on the wall above you quite a ways. You can get up against this east wall into the darkness, even, right?
One question. Are they like wearing cloaks, or are they have?
Oh, armor, or is it armor? Yeah.
They're wearing like skins. It's almost like a poncho, right? They cut the hole in some old skins. They wear it over them. It's painted. It's dyed or painted black with this white rune of the Zambordox cult on it.
Yeah,
right?
I'll grab.
Yeah, some of them have like a leather helm.
I'll grab the helm from one and its shield, and maybe drape some pelts. Yeah, on the poncho. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, we're gonna done poncho, helmet, and shield.
Nice.
And we can't use the helmet.
What do we do with the bodies? Chuck them down the well?
Yeah, chuck them down the well and put the grating back on.
Nice. Okay, now you guys have made pretty good time tonight, right? I mean, how late did you wait before you infiltrated the sewer?
We would have waited after midnight, right? Because we don't want to take it would be a risk, right? But we didn't want to spend the whole night inside
Right.
the thing. So
Okay.
maybe we went in a bit after midnight
Okay.
to deal with the grate,
Okay.
right? And then we spent some time inside the sewers,
Very fun.
waiting until we climbed up, right?
Okay.
Maybe.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we want the sun up.
Right.
When we-
Yeah, you don't
when
want to
we're
have to
doing
hang
the
out
thing,
for
right.
hours, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
yeah.
So you guys are garbed now in a leather helm, a poncho. You've
Mhm.
got a shield, and you're making your way north toward the gear. Or what is it? The
To the wheelhouse.
wheelhouse. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is it a chain? Is it a rope?
Rope. It is thick rope. And again, so it's a stone. This is all stone walls, stone buildings, open doors, right? There's no door on this. So that's open. You can see at least one orc in the wheelhouse. And then again, right beside that door are stone steps up to the top of the wall. And again, at the top of this is a large open area. You can see a tower where they can go into that tower and up top to have up in the battlement. There's probably 4 or 5 orcs right there at the top of those stairs, mingling, doing whatever they're doing. So as you approach, there's potential chance any of those 5 will see you, right, as you walk.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, at least we're all dirty and covered in rags and
Right.
muddy
Smell bad.
and,
Yeah, you
and
smell like orcs.
really, really bad. Yeah, so this disguise is working perfectly.
All right. As you approach, trying to, I assume, walking like orcs, right? You're putting on the whole show, right?
Right.
It looks like 2 of them standing at the top, up there with their swords, and they're looking down at you, and they say something in the black tongue. They say something down at you.
keep the wave with the shield.
Okay. He spits and Ramra says something, and then he turns. The other one takes a couple steps down. He's like halfway down the steps, not aggressive, but just coming down the steps. As you get
All right.
to the foot of the steps and the open doorway to the wheelhouse, you can now see as you get to the open door. I don't know which one's on the right or left. Whoever you's on the left, you can see an orc sitting there. He's like leaned up against the wall. He's chewing on the mutton of something, maybe a lamb or something. He's tearing into this thing. But as whoever's on the left, gets right in front of that door, you can also see another orc on the other side, and he's looking out of a portal over where the drawbridge would come down. It's like he's watching over that far bridge, piece of the bridge. Back
So
is to the door.
2 on the left and 1 on the right.
So there's one on the right and there's one on the left.
And
in
then
the
guy
wheelhouse
inside.
room, and then
Yeah.
there's one that's it's like halfway down the steps. Again, I don't know which one of you is on the right or left, but yeah. So he's about 3 meters. The one coming down the steps, about 3 meters.
So let's just walk into the wheelhouse like it's because if we're gonna take these 3, I want it to be behind a closed door. So
No.
we're just gonna keep walking into the wheelhouse.
Okay.
And if the guy follows us in, slam the door, and that's when the fun begins.
Okay. Okay. As you walk in, the one eating the mutton kind of looks up and he's tearing loose a bite. The other one again, still looking out this whole window, which when you shoot arrows or look out when you crank down the, and you can see the crank for this is at that window. So the guy who can crank down the bridge can look out this window when he cranks the bridge down. And he's on the left. He's the far side of the room, about 5 meters from you, right? This guy looks up. He's ripping loose, and it hasn't dawned on him. I'm making rolls here with modifiers for your disguise. He doesn't yet notice that you're not orcs. Out of the corner of your eyes, you come in quickly and you're assessing this. You see the one that comes off the steps is walking toward he's walking south along the east wall the way you came.
Okay. So he didn't follow us in here.
No.
All right. So let's.
Close the door and.
Is there a door?
There is not a door. This is open. This is an open stone room.
Is it daylight already, or
No. It's it's
yeah,
maybe
pre-dawn? Yeah.
it could. It's hard to tell exactly how long it's taking you to get here, but it could be anywhere from an hour to 30 minutes before maybe sunup.
All right, so I'll just basically pounce on the guy at the table and try to knock him out, and
Okay.
I'll leave the other one for Martin.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You will have the first go surprise here, right? Okay. So Eldrin, he's the closest, so you'll make that move first while Martin crosses the room for the guy with his back to him, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Okay.
So
Another 19 on fire tonight.
Okay. Damage is 5 hits. Is this barehanded again?
Yeah. So
Okay.
basically, I pound on him and try to smash him into the floor, his head against the table, maybe. It's like, bam.
Yep. Driving the mutton leg through the back of his throat, right?
Nice.
Yeah, he's dead instantly. It's like he doesn't even know what hit him.
yeah.
Woo. I mean, remember, these are 1 HD creatures, so they're not super duper.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I'll do you one better and roll the 20
Oh,
on the die.
Nice.
oh, maybe break
So I'm
his break his
using the
windpipe
back.
in the window.
No, I'm using the back of the hand axe,
Oh,
and I'm just boom, hit him on the back of the head. I just caved his skull in.
yeah. Oh,
Right.
and
So
his
it's
head.
just
He's like his
crushed
head
against
just
the
hits
head.
in
Yeah.
the window.
Yeah,
He's just hanging there,
and
right?
it just breaks the
Right.
breaks
And
his
almost
face and back of his head.
almost without any sound here, right? I mean, no sound other than your feet
Yeah.
on the cobblestones. Holy cow! Yeah, these 1 hit die creatures are fun, aren't they?
Nice.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Especially
gonna
when I
put
roll.
these-
I literally roll them all up. So
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right.
We're gonna put these guys in a corner where they can't be seen from the entrance.
okay.
Oh, that's right, because we could only see the guy at the window when we got near. So there's got to be like a recessed area where we can prop these guys up, right?
Okay.
Or like put them on the floor
I'm
and cover
thinking
them.
Yeah.
Cover them with their cloaks so they look like they're taking a nap or something, right? So
Okay.
And I guess until sunup, I'll stand at the window, so there'll be a watchman standing there
Okay.
for improvisation dudes,
Nice.
and Eloy can watch at the door to make sure to see if somebody is coming.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. And we fade to black right there. So
Yes.
we can start.
Awesome.
We can start session 4 with the sun up.
nice.
Nice, guys. Very good. I don't want to keep you guys up forever. So
I think this may be the first time in like a regular D&D campaign where I've disguised myself as one of the other guys.
Yeah. This is the first time, and this is a classic. We've never done this before. This is disguising yourself as an orc.
yeah, as an orc.
It's a classic. It's in Lord of the Rings.
Right.
So,
Right. Yes.
So,